Yeah, so I actually met Megan while she was gathering capital to launch this business. We met and hit it off, and like we'd been friends for years. And about a month into our friendship, she said, "Hey, I'm doing this charity fundraising event this weekend, and you're really good with people. You could talk to people. I'll feed you, have a couple drinks." And I said, "Say no more. I'm there." And that's where Boundless really all started. And I've been here since day one. So, yeah. Yeah, so when I first got asked to work with nonprofits, I mean, it really pulled at my heart because, I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than myself and give back. And working with nonprofits, in this fashion really allows me to do that. So, and I love it. Yeah, you have to have a lot of them. You have to be conversationalist. You have to be authentic. You have to know your craft. You have to have confidence. But out of all of those, they're all very important. I think just being authentic is really the top one for me. Just being yourself. I mean, everybody's going to have a little nerves or their own problems or issues. But if you can just be your authentic self, that will shine through, and that will just only build more trust, connect, and rapport with your audience. So. I would say I have a pretty versatile style. I mean, honestly, I can get fun and rambunctious and energetic, and I feed off the crowd's energy. I mean, I love that. But I can also bring it down and be earnest and sincere and kind of serious if I need to be, if the mood or setting calls for it. But I'm pretty fun, laid back, and I want the crowd and the audience and your supporters to remember the night and all the fun they had. But I also want them to remember why they were there. So. Oh man, I've experienced a handful, but I gotta say one of my favorite ones was working with Fraser Center, one of our longtime clients. The first event I ever attended, I was actually a bid spotter for Megan when she was the auctioneer for that event, and it was a cocktail theme. It was around Derby Day, so you can imagine a lot of drinking, a lot of standing around, and which cocktail style events usually tend to get like that. And we did great. They enjoyed us, and we came back next year, and I was the auctioneer for their event, and we totally revamped their event. We went from a cocktail to a sit-down farm table, family style, just elegant white linens. I mean, it was a beautiful event in a tent out in the garden, and around the same time of year, spring, Derby Day. I mean, it was beautiful, and the response was just amazing. The guests loved it, the organization loved it, we loved it, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention we almost doubled what they raised the year before. So that's one of my favorite success stories for sure. Yeah. Yeah, once you've been on stage long enough, it's bound to happen. I mean, you're gonna have a rowdy crowd, and especially at these events when people are drinking, and we want them to have a good time. But if it gets a little too rowdy, it's depending on the situation. Sometimes I'll ignore and just kind of go on through. Sometimes using silence is the best way to combat that, because once people that are talking are over talking someone, they hear that nothing's going on anymore. It's like, oh, what's going on? So that usually quiets them down. And then sometimes I'll just jump right in their conversation. Like, hey, I know you're talking about this package, right? Or, y'all excited to go on this Italy trip or, whatever. So that kind of gets a laugh and kind of refocuses their attention back to the event. So. Yeah, I definitely understand the appeal of hiring a friend or someone in the organization for cheap or even for free, but they are not going to provide you with the professionalism, the trained professionalism that a professional auctioneer or MC will provide. I mean, they are trained to go up there, build a rapport, have confidence, make it memorable, study your organization, the mission, the cause, and just I mean, they are professionally trained. And on the flip side, if you hire someone that's not a professional, they could get persuaded or off track, something doesn't go right, and then they go off the rails. Or even worse, they hire someone within the organization, and let's say they don't meet their fundraising goal, or they drop the ball with something big or mispronounce a package or whatever. And then you have issues that will linger on after the event. It's not like, hey, that didn't go well, we won't work with them again. Now you have to deal with that internally, and that can lead to a lot of problems. So you just don't even want to go down that route. Hiring a professional auctioneer MC is only going to come back to you tenfold, because they are the face and that caveat that's going to connect your mission, your message, into your donors on the day of the event. So. I mean, I think it's crucial. It's pivotal. I mean, I love working with the marketing team and working with the directors of the organization, working with the AV team. Just the more, and me personally as an auctioneer, as MC, the more I'm involved, the more I know what's going on, and the more I know what the whole picture is supposed to look like. And I think it's only beneficial for anyone involved to be all connected, and knowing what each person's role is during the event. That way, it's, hey, I know what's going on with AV. If I'm up on the event, up on stage during the event, and something doesn't sound right, hey, Mike, you mind adjusting my mic a little bit? Or I can look over at the director and say, how are we on time, or what's up next, or oh, they want to sell that package twice. Okay, cool. So, I mean, it's only going to benefit you from being that closely knit to the organization and the AV teams. And I've seen a handful of interesting things while on stage. I wouldn't say this was regretful for me. It's actually one of my more memorable moments, just because of the feeling. We were doing Fund a Need in the Fund a Need portion of this event for one of our clients, Our House, who work with those who are experiencing homelessness. And we got to the $1,000 level, and just the energy you felt in the room, and I mean, there was tears rolling, tissues were out, and just paddles went up, and they kept going up, and I think we probably had about 50 to 60 people donate at the $1,000 level, just at that level. And the best thing about it was the director was standing in the back of the room the whole time, just cheering and clapping on it. I mean, it was a party, and just you could feel that in the room pulsating through everyone, and that was just one of the coolest memories I have of being on stage. So there's been a few mishaps, of course, whether the slideshow didn't come up, and that's why it's important that we study our packages or study our event. That's why we know. So if something like that does happen. But one of the most recent memories I have is we were doing a virtual event, and literally a minute, 60 seconds before we were about to go live, our prompter shut down. And, me and Megan were co-hosting, and we kept it cool. The director was in the room freaking out, worrying about the whole event. The whole event's going to be ruined. So quickly we pulled up our laptop, pulled up the script on a Google Doc, and we made it work. We adjusted, we adapted, and literally pulled it up. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live here at, just reading off a Google Doc on a laptop. So, I mean, we make it work. And oftentimes the guests, the viewers, don't even know it happened. So that's the goal from our side, right?
That is the goal.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. At first, it seemed like it was a never-ending goal. Like, it just seems so far away. Like, how are we going to make this transition? But slowly and surely, the team came together, and we pivoted. And now looking back, I really enjoy doing virtual events. I mean, like I said, it was a lot of hard work put in to get to this point. But being able to do virtuals, I think you have so many more options to film, to create, to, with B-roll, and I won't go too deep into it, but I think you have a lot more options. And you can reach more people. Aunt Sue up in Seattle can't come to an event down in Atlanta. But she can click on a link and attend, or someone in England, that's 5 hours ahead, they're not going to come across the pond for, one day event, but they'll watch it on a laptop. So in that sense, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great. But I'd be lying if I said I don't miss. I mean, I miss. I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss in-person events. I do really enjoy in-person events. I feed off other people and the energy. But virtual is definitely here to stay, I believe. I mean, this is just another way to have an event now. So. With any fund to need, we tell our clients, you need to paint a picture. You kind of need to have a story, and it needs to kind of either, I won't necessarily say every fund to need needs to be heart pulling, but it needs to resonate with your donors. They want to feel like they are contributing towards something. Hey, this is our plan for a new cafeteria, if it's for a school, or this amount of money will help put so many people through this trainer mentorship. And if you can lay it out like that, simple, easy, effective, and really touch people through your fund to need, I think that's where you will see the most dollars. I'd be honored to be your professional auctioneer, MC, host. However I can serve you is what I would love to do. I mean, I really enjoy getting to know our clients, getting to know their mission, the work that they're doing in our community, and any way I can give back and be a part of that and get up on stage and have fun myself while contributing to a good cause, I'm all for it. So I would love to work with you, and don't hesitate to reach out.